Southpaw versus Orthodox.
JT here. Let's talk about Southpaw versus an Orthodox fighter. Southpaw, Orthodox, Southpaw, meaning right-hander versus a lefty, or a lefty versus a righty. Now, I get this a lot. I hear coaches say this all the time. Now, remember, I'm a Southpaw. So, as a Southpaw, and my coach, same thing, told me to make sure I stay on the outside of his foot. Cool. But how many times do you hear the same coaches telling the same thing to everybody? A Southpaw, it's to keep your foot on the outside of the foot. Keep your foot on the outside of the foot. Of course, we know that. So now, 90% of the time, as a Southpaw, I'm a fighter right-handed. So I know I keep my foot on the outside of the foot. So what the Orthodox fighter is going to do? Try to keep his foot on the outside of my foot. So what that tells me to do? Throw a check hook, throw a straight left. Or a straight left and throw a check hook. But as I throw my hook, I step on the outside of his foot. That's normal, correct? Now, remember this. Everybody is saying the same exact thing. So, as an Orthodox fighter, if you know I'm going to try to keep my foot on the outside of your foot, and I know you're going to try to keep your foot on the outside of my foot, how do you change that? Think about it. One, I would tell you to do this. Step outside his foot. When you step outside, pull back. See how he reacts. If you step outside his foot and he throws a straight left or a check hook, you know it's going to come. You know it's going to come. So, by you stepping on the outside of the foot and pulling back, you seeing what's happening. At that point, you got to lock this in. Okay, I see what he's doing. So, feint the step. Step to the right. So, step to the right. Not meaning step directly into his left. Remember, you're stepping in. I'm not saying step into his left hand. I'm saying step to the right, but a little bit away from him. So that way, when he throws that left, it grazes this way. Boom. It might touch your shoulder. That way, you can land that right hand behind him. Boom. You understand? So think. If everybody's saying the same thing, don't you think we know this already? Me as a Southpaw, and you as a right-handed fighter, you're going to try to keep your foot on the outside of my foot? Good luck. Because that's all I train. Think about it. That's all Southpaws train. We train for when you step outside my foot, boom, or a straight left, bam. So switch it up. Don't do the same thing as everybody's saying. So you got to try to find it. If you make that movement and you get hit, that means you were too deep. If you make that movement and he's barely missing you, perfect. Pop, now stab it. Boom. Then you can clip it too. You got to put it together. Those things. Remember, Southpaw Orthodox is the best. It's like the best wars because it's really a chess match at that point. It's really a chess match. I can't even talk right now. Got it? So think. Don't do the same thing that everybody's trying to tell you to do. Mix it up a little bit. Sometimes you do got to make sure your foot is on the outside of that foot, but that's normal. All right? Technique. Holla at your boy.